Looks like we are live, Exquisites. How's everybody doing today? I'm IndiaE, and thank you for joining us here at You Are Exquisite, aka YAE, and I am the YAE woman. And of course, I was asking on my video yesterday. Let me try to pull this up. Child, let me try to pull this up. Are you the YAE woman? Are you the YAE woman? The YAE woman, just to give you a shorter version, the YAE woman, she is faith filled, resilient, vision driven. She's the dreamer, the builder, and the doer. Through all of life's challenges, she realigns, reinvents, recalibrates, reclaims, and reemerges her beautiful self even stronger. She knows her worth, honey. She creates her own reality. She is the blueprint. She is that. And the YAE woman is you. So I'm India E, founder of You Are Exquisite, aka YAE. And thank you all for engaging, um, responding. Time is sacred, it is our most precious commodity. And so having just a bit of your time means everything to me. So today I wanted to get into embarrassment. Okay, so we've seen a lot, in pop culture news with embarrassment. When you have a tall fall flat on your face, how does one deal with that? Personally, professionally, politically, dealing with the energy of embarrassment. I know I have been embarrassed too many times to count. I literally cannot count how many times I've been embarrassed. And I've always been fascinated with this subject and this issue. And I know that might be a bit weird, but that's me. So embarrassment. Um, mm, some would say that the No Kings rally yesterday, the very successful and peaceful No Kings rally yesterday, is an embarrassment to those who are in power currently. That No Kings rally yesterday, and of course the numbers are being tallied up, but it has been recorded as the largest protest in our nation's history. And I wonder if it will rival globally being one of the largest protests. And so, how embarrassment and being publicly, uh, humiliated, how that impacts one. Now, of course, that is on a major and broad macro scale. But when it happens in the micro, when it happens in your daily life, as I said, it's happened to me, and too many times to count. So, embarrassment. Uh, what is it? Uh, how does one grapple with that? In the news, it has been, reported one of the Real Housewives, who, frankly, I really have enjoyed watching, Dr. Wendy. I really hate. Hi, Miss Cora. I really hate. That news about she and her husband. Um, that has been tremendously sad. When I first saw that, I thought, oh, wow, you know what? And of course, honey, I don't know anything, and I pray that everything works out for them on the optimum and in the positive. But my initial thought was that, you know what, bless their hearts, I bet they got caught up in keeping up with that pace of the Joneses. But I always thought in regards to Dr. Wendy Osefo, I had watched her on MSNBC, during political analysis. So I really thought that her beast flex was her intelligence, and I wish Dr. Wendy would have rocked t-shirts, blue jeans, and some Crocs, you know what I mean? Because she has the intellectual pedigree to do so. So I never really aligned the the pomp and circumstance with Dr. Wendy. I always thought that her flex was, she can rock a sweatsuit and a Porsche and, go on about her business. So I just really hate that she got caught up, if that is the case, with the keeping up with the Joneses thing, because frankly, I just think she and her husband are adorable. And I just really hate that all of that went down. Don't know them. All I know is, what we see. And frankly, I used to watch the Potomac, but the whole housewife thing has just kind of like, it's just kind of like gotten to me. But dealing with embarrassment when someone goes through that. I know myself. I have an ebook on it actually at stan.store / IndiaE. It's free, and it's called From Embarrassment to Empowerment. So I mean, I'm so fascinated with it, honey. I wrote an ebook. So like embarrassment, honey. And it's something that we all have to deal with, of course, when you're a public person and you've acquired a lot of wealth and power and all that stuff, obviously it would hit harder, I suppose, than when you're a quote unquote like regular, guy or gal. But being embarrassed, like what have you gone through, if you want to share something like that, and how, more importantly, like, because the embarrassment is a temporary thing, that's a temporary thing. The reemerging, that's the main point, and that's what I wanted to get to today. So I want to thank you all exquisites for being here. You Are Exquisite is simple, obviously, no production no production capacity. I really just want to help women know how fabulous they are and help women heal. That is the core, raw reason for You Are Exquisite, aka YAE. How to help women heal, how to get unstuck, so you can persist, pursue, uh, into your prosperity, whatever that prosperity may be for you. As I have said and written about, I suffered from emotional insecurity for decades, and now I write and hope to help women accelerate healing. So don't take as long as I did to work through your crap. Let's figure your crap out in your way, on your terms, on your turf, and but let's accelerate it. How can we get you to where you can look back on that and laugh at whatever the embarrassment was, so that you can be fabulous, and educated, elevated, and empowered, so that you can pursue and persist and go on and take care of the business that you are here to do, your spirit assignment. That's how I refer to it. So defining embarrassment. Defining embarrassment. Okay. So embarrassment, I believe, is an emotional response to mistakes, missteps, and exposure of vulnerabilities. Um, it's something that we go through. And in one of my journals, it's entitled "Dumped." because I believe that, we're all going to go through these life experiences, in the context of young people dating, okay, which is like 1,000 years ago, like for me. so, so like it's like, prehistoric days, like for me. But like in the context of young people dating, like being able to handle that healthy. And let's just make up a scenario. Two people are dating, and you know what? She's like, you know what? Bless you, honey, but no, this is not going to work. And then like he gets all upset, or whoever they're, they get all upset, and instead of just like absorbing the kind of embarrassment of it all, of the situation, like they want to bow up and get attitude, and and just and act a fool. I mean, we see it on the news all the time, and it can be quite dangerous and horrific, in fact. And so being able to process rejection, handle embarrassment, being able to handle that healthy in the journal dump. Do I have that journal? I don't have dumped here with me. I've got a few of my other ones, but they're on Amazon, and you can go to stan.store /IndiaE, and you can see all the journals. But on that particular one, it's entitled Dumped, and then underneath it says Handle It Healthy. So, how to handle rejection, embarrassment, how to handle all of these things healthy, because they're going to happen. You're going to dump somebody, and somebody is going to dump us. I mean, it just happens. And so, instead of making it like this life, this, oh my God, this horrific experience, how can people handle it healthy and move on? I mean, how many billions of people is it in this country? So, or no, not in this country, but on the planet. Yeah, handling embarrassment healthy. So, embarrassment, the emotional response to perceived mistakes, social missteps, or exposure to vulnerabilities. Of course, it's tied to ego, fear of judgment, and this exposure of not being perfect, which, child, I have said for decades, because frankly it's the alignment of my life, that imperfection is perfection. Okay, so that whole perfect energy, like, dump that. Okay, so imperfection is perfection. Um like comparing oneself to somebody else. I mean, I've done that. It's like you look at somebody else and they appear to really have it made, and I mean, they're balling, you know what I mean? And then you're up here and you're like, well, Jesus, my life is just a tank. I mean, it's just I'm just not measuring up. Like that kind of energy, and what that does to our spirit, to our psyche, and frankly um to our timeline. And so, how to cut the crap and accelerate the healing so that we can, in fact, move on to pursue our way to prosperity. Child, I'm sweating. This damn light. I'm sweating, y'all. Now, I have personal summers. So, honey, it could be February, honey. So, I have personal summers. So, and see, it's embarrassing. Right. I mean, it's like totally embarrassing. I mean, I look like I'm like in the shower, for God's sake. Okay. So now we want to, whatever the low frequency energy is, whether it's fear, doubt, shame, envy. Oh, not the envy. Overwhelm. Oh, self-sabotage. Like whatever that low frequency energy is, honey, we want to be able to identify that and dismiss it. And I know this comes with time. So being embarrassed is simply a low frequency energy. And frankly, like, mm, The greater the pain, the greater the purpose. So when a person is embarrassed, there's a lesson there. So I always like things that like strike a nerve. Like if it strikes a nerve, then I'm supposed to get something from it so I don't repeat it, right? The whole thing is to learn from whatever the said embarrassment is and then not repeat it so you don't have to go through that anymore. We've been there, done that, file it, got the lesson and then move on. The whole thing is to accelerate the healing. What can we do to educate our emotions, elevate our existence, and empower our exquisite? And the exquisite references like your spirit. So we want to empower your spirit, honey, so you can go head on and do what you are here to do in this short span that we call life. Okay. So when we find ourselves embarrassed, of course we're going to differentiate between, is it something private, honey, that like, only I know, or like, are you in a situation where, oh my God, it's public? And so of course public embarrassment is obviously intensified. um if we do a like a private session, I'll tell you some of mine, but the ebook has it as well. Some of them. I mean, I need a scroll. I could literally go on and on regarding embarrassment. Okay, so the YAE perspective on all of this. Okay, embarrassment, it is not an identity, it's an experience. You learn from it. Figure out, first of all, is it yours? So first of all, like we did E3, educate, elevate, and empower. We did that last week. So first of all, educate yourself and make sure that whatever it is you're going through is yours. Because I do not believe in carrying other people's energies. That suppresses your exquisite, so that your identity and your fingerprint doesn't get a chance to come up. So we want your identity, your fingerprint. So educate your emotions, make do that emotional inventory 101. I've got that book too, stan.store /IndiaE. Yes, honey, mama writes. And get you a journal. So this is one of them. Know, love, live, let. Say yes to your exquisite self. And obviously, you can see that I create the product and I use the product. So get you a journal. If you don't get a YAE journal, even though they are the most fabulous, get something and write stuff down. Okay, write it down and work through whatever you're going through. The whole point is, don't suppress your emotions. Work through them in a healthy way, because clearly we've got a lot of unhealthy energy out here, and we don't want to contribute to that. There is a lot of unhealthy energy out here. So how to make yourself, I don't want to hold y'all, how to make yourself better. That's what You Are Exquisite works to do. One exquisite at a time. Okay? So embarrassment, it is not your identity, honey. It is just a temporary situation. And just work through what you're going through. And at the root of it, whatever the embarrassment is, know that you are exquisite. And you will get through this. Always say that you are not what happened to you. And again, decipher and discern how much of this is yours. And I always say, I'll own anything that's mine. But if it's not mine, no one on planet Earth can attach it to me. You know what I mean? So that is key and core. Of course, embarrassment is a temporary wave of energy. Like, this is temporary. Work through what you're going through. Some people, and in the moment, like, I get this too. Like, you feel that it's just overwhelming. And then as time, evolves and goes on, you look back on it and you're like, that really wasn't as big as I thought it was. Now, sometimes it is big. So sometimes it can be quite big. And you deal with that too. So whatever gradation level the embarrassment is, you adjust according to that, and you face it, you feel it, and you free yourself from it, one day, one moment at a time. Now, I have clients that I work with, and they are, and shout out to all of you, they are working through some serious stuff, as I have. And in their self-perception transformation, they have learned to let that go. And it's a process, because at the root of your existence, like, is freedom. Like, before you were even born, when you're in the I am state, before you are energy, you are the I am. That is where we want to get to and work from. That is the self-perception transformation, because you are not your environment. You are not what was projected onto you in the form of conditioning. Being able to separate that, the indoctrinations, the conditioning, the environmental absorptions, from you at your I am state. Because when you wipe the slate clean, when you reverse engineer and go all the way back to before you were fill in the blank, you were energy, you were infinite possibilities. So that's why we don't get too hung up on the embarrassment and the low frequency energies, because all of that is connected to environmental conditioning and indoctrinations. All of it. All of it. Every thought, every assumption, every way about you. You do what fill in the blank did because you saw that's how they did it. And it's very natural and easy. And, so and so worried all the time. And so you worry all the time. So and so smoked. And so you smoke. Like, that type of environmental conditioning, absorption, and indoctrination. Who are you without that? When you go all the way back to the galaxy, to the I am, to the state of infinite intelligence and just pure possibility. Who is she? What are her desires? What are her visions? And then when you can make that separation, what you're going through in your conditioned state shrinks. And so that's the self-perception transformation process. And that's what we go through. It takes time. It's deep. It's deep. It's work. It's doing your emotional inventory in your current environmentally absorbed state, the conditioned you, and logging that, inventorying all of that, working through all of that. Why did I make that choice? Why? What was all of that? That was connected to someone else's perspective that was projected onto you, and you absorbed it, and then you put it out in the world. You embodied it. So when you like inventory that, log it in the journal, make peace with that. Now we want to go into the original state. The kids like to call it the OG, the original state, the I am, where you are none of that. You are a blank slate. You are you before you were born, into fill in the blank. For me, it was a bit of low frequency. Father left between the year of 2 and 3, and that framed and narrated my entire existence. The abandonment and the emotional catastrophe that created. So that was my frame. That's why I focus a lot on mind frame, and mindset, and to protect that at all cost. So my mind frame and mindset was created through the catastrophe of father abandonment. And that literally kind of framed my whole existence. And it just brought on every insecurity you can possibly name. And it took me decades to work through that. And so now I write about all of that. And I've made peace with it. I hope to see my father has passed. I hope to see my father on the other side so we can sit down, have some spiritual tea or whatever, and talk this out. Hopefully, we'll be able to do that. That is my prayer. But it has taken decades for me to get to this state of being. But I have learned who I am without that framing. And now I help other people who have been through whatever they've gone through. For me, that was my thing. But for somebody else, obviously every fingerprint is different. And so whatever you're going through, no matter the obstacle, challenge, or noise, always know you are exquisite. So embarrassment are one of the low frequency energies. It can come from poor choices, as in my case, just like I call my dumb phase, complete stupidity. Complete stupidity. So and that's, hopefully you do that on the younger side of life. You don't want to be in that state as an elder, but it happens. For me, it was on the younger side, thank God. And so I had time to, in fact, work through that. So if you are, wanting someone to help you work through what you're going through, stan.store / IndiaE. So the YAE woman understands embarrassment as a okay. Apparently I was disconnected for a minute. So the YAE woman, she knows and recalibrate. So we want to pause, we want to breathe, and we want to recalibrate. And this is pretty much standard, being able to have that formula of any sort of low frequency energy that bubbles up, and it always does. It always will. It's life. So we pause, we breathe, and we recalibrate. We don't react. We don't live in a state of reaction. The YAE woman responds. And that's a very different energy. Responding is having educated your emotions, elevating your existence, and empowering your exquisite. You take your time and you respond. We don't just and pop off and react. Those days are over. So having a sound, sober, and serene mind frame, and mindset is the move of the YAE woman. Also, embarrassment, as we were saying, you learn and you create the opportunity to elevate your presence and show true strength. So any type of misstep, um, any type of low frequency energy, I have learned, and in my books I write about how we convert. We use the power of conversion. I don't care what the low frequency energy is. I can convert that energy to an opportunity to help somebody else who might be going through it. So that's really like what it's all about. So embarrassment. Do not allow embarrassment to govern you. We've all lived through some form of embarrassment, and I'm sure we will continue to. And it's how you handle it. And remember to handle it healthy. How you handle it. How you handle any low frequency energy. And being able to discern that it is low frequency. Any energy that makes you doubt yourself, that makes you sabotage yourself, that puts you in a mind frame of comparison where you're looking at yourself as low and you're looking at someone else as above you, all of that. No, no, no. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. It's like bad broccoli. It smells. So we want to convert, put the bad broccoli in a compost. And honey, we're going to convert that and we're going to use that as fertilizer. That really is the key to this. I don't care what the low frequency is. Low frequency is fertilizer for life. Convert it, use it to your advantage because you will have learned a lesson from it. Some people are here to teach us who not to be. That's what I've learned. Oh, okay. Okay. Thank you for that lesson. Some people are here to instruct us on who not to be, how not to move, what not to do. I think we're seeing a lot of that currently in pop culture, in our political sphere. We're being taught what not to do. All that glitters isn't high heritage gold. Sometimes it's gold-plated crap. So make sure I'm an advocate of journals. So make sure you get your journal. Of course, I advocate YAE journals because they're fabulous. I designed them. Some of them are um, really empty for you to write your story you to write your story in there. I love empty journals. Some of them are prompted. This one, No Love, Live, Let, is a prompted journal where I'm having a dialogue like with you. And so we're talking things through. And I have like 20 journals, so y'all bear with me, but some of them are prompted. And I guess I should put the prompted, I should indicate which ones are prompted. But yes, so some are prompted. Uh, No Love, Live, Let. That's the latest one, and that is a prompted journal. But we have Relentless Pursuit, YAE Daily, the Dream Big Journal. Of course, the books are You Are Exquisite, Help You Heal, and Emotional Inventory 101. The first book I'm actually rewriting, and that will be the next edition will be republished. But that is basically it. Uh, no matter what the low frequency energy is, learn to convert it, use it as life fertilizer. Get the lesson, write it out. Just do freestyle think dumps and just do low frequency energy dumps, as we talked about last week. No judgment. And also be very compassionate with yourself. Give yourself the permission to release. As women, we tend to carry a lot, and we tend to do for everyone else, helping others. This work is very internal. I like to say this is healthy selfishness. This is work for you that only you can do, by the way. This work is to you and from you. So this is a very internal process. And give yourself permission and compassion and grace to do your work so that you can be your best self, your most exquisite self. You deserve to be free of whatever you are carrying that is not yours. If it's yours, own it. Face it, feel it, free yourself from it. If it's not yours, reallocate it. To put it on the journal, write it in the journal, but release that. You do not have to carry a bunch of low frequency energy that is not yours. This is quiet work. It is deliberate work. It is joyful work. It's serious work. It's significant. To me, I think it's the greatest work we as women can do for ourselves. I take it very seriously. And now more than ever, in this current environment of digital saturation and AI and imagery and media and disinformation and information and misinformation, and I mean it's just a mess. So you need to be able to think critically and clearly so that you can make the best decisions that are in your best interest, not someone else's. So do not allow your mind, your mindset, or your mind frame to be manipulated externally. If it's going to be manipulated, honey, you do it. So, if you're going to be Delulu, then you be Delulu on behalf of yourself, okay? Not on behalf of somebody else, honey. Don't be Delulu connected to somebody else. If you're going to be Delulu, then you be Delulu in regarding what's in your best interest, which I think is healthy delusion, to be totally honest with you. So I am IndiaE. You can always reach me at YAE Woman. I tend to be on Instagram and YouTube most. Please message me, write your thoughts. If you would like to talk about something further, stan.store / IndiaE. I do these YouTube lives on Sunday, 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. Obviously, low produced, not edited. I tend to be kind of a natural broad. Journals, books, digital courses, all aligned and devoted to helping women heal. That is the bottom line. Helping women heal. Because, honey, when you heal a woman, that automatically goes out into the ecosystem to her babies and her orbit. So helping women heal, one exquisite at a time. And no matter what, and no matter who, always know you are exquisite. No matter the obstacle, no matter the challenge, no matter the noise, always know you are exquisite. I'm IndiaE. You are exquisite. Thank you guys in the chat. Y'all leave me some messages. I always forget to say this, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Y'all bear with me. And I will see you back here next Sunday, 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. And I'll be posting and stuff too. Y'all get your journals, your ebook, book an appointment with me if you want to. But do not let this noise and this low frequency energy that we are all navigating, do not let this touch your exquisite. That's sacred. That's yours. Protect it. I'll see you here next Sunday. And thank you guys so very much for your participation and your engagement. I'm IndiaE. You are exquisite.